In today's high-tech world of driving, cars are getting smarter, and so are traffic enforcement tools. From red light cameras to radar and laser traps, motorists are facing a growing array of surveillance on the road. And that's where Escort's Redline360 steps in. It's not a gimmick or a gadget, but a serious investment in driving awareness and protection. The Escort Redline360c isn't cheap, but for those who value precision, reliability, and situational awareness, it just may be the best money you can spend on your vehicle. I had the opportunity to speak with Joe Sherbondy, director of Escort's radar detection products, to get a closer look at what makes the Redline360c such a game changer. Joe, thanks for joining the show today. I really want to talk about Escort radar detectors and the Redline360 and why it's the most responsive radar detector available. I mean, there's radar detectors being sold by everyone. What do consumers need to know, and why do we want these units?
That's a great question, Lauren. Really the reason for the push on response time and driving this down to such a call it a small number is that in several states across the country, the police use what's called quick trigger, and it's literally for the most part as simple as tapping that trigger really quickly to try to get your speed. So there's really two ways that they will use radar with a constant signal on, and you've been using radar detectors for a while, so that's something you're used to seeing. But with the quick trigger, it's literally on your display and off your display that fast. And so, our effort here is to make sure that our drivers are as protected as possible. And we're really pushing the limits here with where we've gotten to with our response times. We're quite happy with this new release.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I've been testing it, and I found it versus some of the competitors to be responding up to 500 feet quicker. I almost got caught in a radar trap, but the Escort 360 was like boom, quick. I was really impressed. Now you also have a Defender database that keeps people up to date, and like red light cameras and speed cameras. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, sure. So, basically, we've been using the Defender database for quite some time. And for any radar detector user with our current product lines that we have, including the Redline 360C, we basically have that available. It's pretty standard, across the U.S. It also works with our Drive Smarter app, and basically gives people the ability to see those alerts. The only thing that I would tell people as we're talking here on a video is that while it's great for static threats like the red light cameras and in cases where you see a speed camera around a school zone, for example, the police do sometimes employ mobile threats. So they take those same cameras, put them in trash cans, believe it or not,
Wow.
and they will, try to have that as discreet as possible. They do move those types of devices around, so our software is also set up to detect the radar signal coming off of those. But I do suggest to people if they're driving in an area like for me here in Chicago, where there's a speed camera every 10 feet. I recommend using the Defender database. Getting those alerts is a little more pleasant, I'll say, than getting the radar alerts constantly from every traffic light out there. So
Yeah, your app is very, very helpful. You
thank you.
can plug it into your phone, and then of course, what I love is your cord. When you plug it into your lighter, has a USB-A adapter, and you can just plug in your phone and charge it at the same time. So it all connects. So it's
Yes.
very, very helpful. No, I've got radar detectors from Escort from when you first started business, so it's been a long time. There are all kinds of bundles to save money that are actually really smart. There's a lot of unique things going on in this world today where you need a forward dash cam. And I'm hearing it more and more from people. And you have bundles available with the M2 dash cam, but you also have laser uh, readers as well. This is really interesting how the technology has evolved. I mean, what is Escort doing to help consumers to be safer drivers? And it also reminds you to stay within the speed.
Yeah, probably a couple things on that. So, people want to feel safe, is probably the best way to phrase that, right? So, whether you're
Yeah.
feeling safe from a threat on the road, such as getting a ticket,
Mhm.
or maybe other drivers, where you're looking at the use of the camera. But, basically that's what we're trying to do is provide those types of devices that make people feel safer. So the M2 dash camera that you talked about is a great product that's good for both day and night vision, high resolution. So it's nice for, I think really the most important thing people look for is to make sure if you're looking at other vehicles on the road, how well can you read their license plate at a distance?
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure you've heard about some of the crazy videos on YouTube that people use with dash cams. And, for me, I'll say a little closer to home here in Chicago, we have video footage from our employees basically where, you know, street parking where somebody's come in, backed into their car and
Yeah.
then drove away. So it can be anything like that, or people walking around your car at the airport, right? Just any suspicious type of activity. Cameras are great for those types of things. And then, with the laser shifters that we have currently our ZR6 laser package out there. Um, it's, as we talk about with radar detectors, where we have the ability to detect LiDAR or laser. Generally speaking, I tell people if you see that going off, the police probably already got you at that point in
Yeah.
time, right? Because it's
Yeah.
point and click with them. But,
Mhm.
with the laser shifters that we've got, you do have the ability to feed anything out there on the marketplace. So, I always counsel people be responsible with it, and use that time to slow your vehicle down at that point. So, but yeah, they're very
It makes
effective.
sense. I think what people don't realize when it comes to radar detectors, it can actually protect your wallet and your driving record. Can you just touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't recall off the top of my head the last number I had looked at, but with speeding tickets come a hike in insurance.
Hmm.
So you when you look about the investment that you make, it definitely pays itself off, I think, for a lot of folks. And here's the funny thing when it comes down to it, and this is just from doing surveys, right? A lot of people out there, the users of our products, you'll typically hear people say, "I'm just, I need to get from point A to point B, and it's not that I'm overtly trying to speed. I just want to get there a little faster." Right. And so these may just be people that are doing five over the speed limit or 10 over the speed limit. But on any given day, you could be written up for something like that, right? You could be
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
distracted, phone calls, whatever you have going on in the car. So the detectors, I think, do a great job of alerting you to, I'll say, the presence of different types of threats.
Yeah, I've also noticed that I was a little heavy-footed, and it said, and the radar detector said to me, "Slow down." I was like, "Wow, you know what? You're right," and it saved me from driving over the speed limit. And I think that's also good for new drivers too. When you're thinking it's very easy to get distracted with life, your phone, the radio, whatever else. But
Yeah.
it helps keep you in check, and that will save you on insurance because if you get a lot of speeding tickets, that's not good. And this will help keep you, from having additional expenses, shall we say.
Amen.
Well, I'm looking forward to the new software. I think this is really great. Having quicker response, less false alerts, and then the ability to go in there and set it up the way you want, I think was really, really helpful on the 360C because you can go in and say, I don't want any X signals, or I want, certain low, medium, or high range K signals. And that was great because those are very common, and we've all been to a store that has the automatic doors and it sets off the X alert.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you can mute that and it's already pre-programmed into the unit. So there's a lot of really nice little features that you can customize it.
Yeah, we want to make it as, I'll say, quiet as possible for the drivers out there so that, when you are getting alerts, it's likely something that, you're looking for a legitimate threat in front of you.
Well, this is great. We're looking forward to the new software. And if you've owned an Escort in the past, you can look at the trade-in program on their website. And you should look at upgrading your equipment because you'll be very happy with the results. Thanks for your time, Joe. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it.
What's equally impressive is how Escort has continued to build out its ecosystem. The Redline360c is integrated with the North American Defender database, which offers real-time notifications of red light and speed cameras. This can save you a ticket, can also remind you to slow down. And for those upgrading from an older device, Escort's trade-in program allows customers to send in their previous detector for credit. And that's a really smart idea, so you don't have to sell it on eBay or try to find a buyer. You trade it in and get the newest device. You can purchase a Redline360c for $799. Now, speeding tickets aren't just costly. They can raise your insurance rates and impact your driving record. But more importantly, having a radar detector like the Redline360c empowers drivers with real-time information, helping them make safer, more informed decisions on the road. Joe Sherbondy summed it up with, "We're not encouraging speeding, we're enabling situational awareness. The more you know about what's happening on the road ahead, the safer and smarter your drive becomes." If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.